I'm going to miss this entire storyline. Domonique, the happiest man in the world, joins us today. And Dan Orlovsky, as we have to say goodbye to you for the day, I'm told you've been making mea culpas all morning long.
Greeny, I'm going to do something on national television that's fascinating. Okay, so this is for Dak Prescott. Leave me alone. This is for Cowboys fans. I wore your colors. Leave me alone. In my mentions. This is for guys like Graziano, but most importantly, this is for my arch nemesis, Domonique Foxworth.
Oh.
Egg on my face on television.
He's got egg on his face. Domonique, how about
you
that?
earned it, Dom.
You can't ask for more. Domonique is right there. He's right with the Prescott brothers there. The cousin, Domonique Foxworth / Prescott. Joins us here with his thoughts as he was there for the celebration.
Man, look at that
last
side
night with David and Booger. Domonique, go ahead. The floor is yours.
First of all, happy Dak Day to you and yours, and I'm looking forward to the ongoing Dak Day tradition of Dan Orlovsky every year slapping himself with an egg to commemorate this occasion. Congratulations to Dak and his brother Tad and their whole family for what they've accomplished. But I do think, on a serious note, seeing that tweet last night and seeing that picture, it's just emotional. And it made me think about, understand that not very many people get this opportunity, but you understand how big a moment it is for a family to get to something like this. It's not draft day. Like, a lot of people get up, get excited, and get emotional about draft day. For me, it's free agency, it's new deals, because it's the embodiment of a life's work finally kind of paid out for an individual. And not only that, like, as the former president of the Players Association, it's an embodiment of generations upon generations sacrificing to get these players an opportunity to make money like this. And I understand maybe this doesn't feel like a great big emotional moment to anybody else, but March is my favorite month, not only because it's when my birthday is, but it's because those big deals start rolling out and they bring me so much joy every year, no matter what position, no matter what person. They get them checks and I get excited. And Greeny, I'll give it back to you for this last thing. To my cousin Dak, I got one final message. Let me hold something, because that boy got all the money.
But let me ask you quickly on that. I do want to come back to you in that capacity, again, as the former player of the president of the NFL Players Association. Domonique, what is the significance of this? This is the biggest win I can ever remember. This is going eye to eye, toe to toe with Jerry Jones, and you know personally what that is like. He didn't get to be who he is because he doesn't know how to negotiate, and Dak stood his ground, bet on himself, and won huge. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is precedent setting, and it doesn't change things for everybody. But I do think that there will be there will be organizations, owners, general managers going forward who will have this in the back of their mind. Once they start talking about franchising their quarterback or franchising any player, they will be concerned about how this will end up. And finally, I think that Jerry Jones ended up with a pretty good deal. Like, this is not crippling their cap like everyone said it would. $22 million, I think, is the hit this year. That's about 10% of their cap. It goes up to about 14% next year. Then they can look at renegotiating after that. Like, this team is not hamstrung by this deal, but Dak did have all the leverage. You can't franchise him. You can't trade him. You can't do anything with that man unless he tells you he wants to do it first. That's a lot of power that I think other owners might be concerned about if they go down this road of franchising their quarterbacks.
We are in life not worth any more or less than what someone is willing to pay us. That is the definition of value, and that is the position Dak Prescott and his team wound up putting themselves into, regardless of what anyone thinks of it. That said, David Pollack, what do we think of the deal? When you hear the words Dak Prescott is now the second highest paid quarterback in the National Football League, David, what is your reaction?
Well, I mean, I think about Dallas moving forward and where they're at and trying to win a Super Bowl like Jerry talks about and like we've heard mentioned. And over the last 5 seasons, Dak Prescott's got paid at the position of quarterback. The average salary at the position of quarterback, he's 28th. That's with being franchised a year ago. And Jerry hasn't put together a roster that was remotely Super Bowl bound. So if you think about the Cowboys and you think about where they've been offensively, you know, Dak has to perform. They have to be elite with what they've allocated on that side of the football, with Zeke Elliott making tons of money, Amari Cooper making tons of money, the trades you've made on that side of the football, CeeDee Lamb, a first-round pick a year ago. So I think when you look at Dak, it's a lot of money to pay. Does this mean the Cowboys get to where they ultimately want to go? They haven't been able to do it with a quarterback getting paid a little bit, so I don't see that changing for the Dallas Cowboys.
And Booger McFarland, is it now reasonable to elevate your expectations? He's getting paid like a superstar. Is it now reasonable to expect him to play like one?
Yeah, I think it's reasonable, Green. It doesn't mean that the people inside the building are going to expect that. We on the outside, we're going to see Patrick Mahomes 1, Dak Prescott 2 as far as average annual value, and we're going to expect him to do the same things that we see Patrick doing, to make the same type highlight plays. Well, that's not reasonable. It's a different offense. They're going to approach it from a different philosophical standpoint. And I think in the end, the Cowboys offense has to be great, and Dak has to lead that offense. But just because the offense is great doesn't mean that they're going to win, because the defense stunk last year. The defense has got to get better. But I think the expectations inside the building, they're only going to ramp up for Dak. Dak has been the leader of that football team. They expect him to continue being that. And now they're going to want him to go from being a very good quarterback to hopefully over the next few years becoming a great one. But that's a process. That's not going to happen overnight, Greeny.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.